Hello, viewers. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. We're continuing with our discussion on the silent song and other stories. The story, A Man of Awesome Power. But before that, viewers, allow me to wish my lovely wife a happy birthday. She is the woman who is behind the scenes ensuring that our videos are the way they are. A very big happy birthday to her. Fast forward to today's content. You must have asked yourself, what is your destiny in your country or in the whole world? You must have thrown a self-pity party and you must have wanted all of our challenges to be solved by the government. I am one of such people. But today, there is a different perspective to all this from the story, A Man of Awesome Power. Together, we will see the catharsis of this story, how it is relevant in today's world. This story is written by one Naguib Mahfouz from Egypt. It is about a man, Taib al-Mahdi, who finds himself in a flat that he owns himself in the city of Nasri. This flat he owns as a result of the retirement reward after working for his country abroad. He also has a generous health insurance alongside a more than adequate pension. His four daughters are each married, and Taib al-Mahdi feels that he has achieved his full purpose in life. He does not know what really awaits him. Viewers, before we continue with the analysis of this story, I would ask you to take a second and click that subscribe button so that anytime we come up with such videos, then YouTube will notify you. Remember also to like our video so that YouTube can always recommend it for more viewers. Continuing with the story, A Man of Awesome Power. Taib al-Mahdi one night receives a guest. The guest the guest comes in form of an angelic apparition. He's bathed in light, and we also see him wrapped in a snow-white robe. The apparition, in a kind tone, tells Taib al-Mahdi that from now onwards, and as long as God wills, you shall have the power to tell something be, and it shall be. Before the apparition disappears, the apparition tells Taib al-Mahdi to do whatever he pleases with the power that he now possesses. Taib al-Mahdi is someone who is wise, and he wisely keeps this information to himself. He does not even tell the companion of his life, that is his wife, Hania. As things turn out, Taib al-Mahdi then gets to test his awesome power. One day, while Hania is busy in the kitchen, Taib al-Mahdi is watching a television, and he's watching the channel 1. He demands mentally for the channel 1 to change to channel 2. And without any warning, the channel 1 changes to channel 2, where there is a foreign film. So then Taib al-Mahdi realizes that the power bequeathed to him in the dream is really the true power. And we come to realize, just as it is wont in the world today, that luck in its sense does not just happen in a vacuum. Luck always follows preparation and a fertile opportunity that has been laid down for it. And as we can see, we realize that Taib al-Mahdi throughout his life has always heard benevolent dreams for his country and the world in general. He's a good man, and the writer goes on to tell us that his sins were forgivable ones. He's pious and observant. So then, we come to realize that luck did not just locate Taib al-Mahdi, but Taib al-Mahdi has the interest of the people at heart. And it is as if, despite his modest standing in the society, he really has the interest of his country and the world in general. Trusting God and exercising humility, we see Taib al-Mahdi get to reform the society. The benevolent dreams that he had for his country, now with the awesome power that he wields, he goes out to reform his nation. And when opportunity allows, he plans to even emancipate the whole world. His first point of reformation is when he hails a taxi driver to take him to the city center. The taxi driver waves in refusal haughtily and speeds off without giving Taib al-Mahdi a thought. Taib al-Mahdi, inasmuch as such a situation is not something happening for the first time, he becomes irritated. He feels that the power that he wields should be used for the good, but then the irritation and anger gets the better of him, his act, and in a moment he stares at the rear wheels. Upon staring at the rear wheels, then like a bomb, the tires explode. A punishment to the hubris by the driver. When he goes to the bus shelter and stands underneath it, he follows closely an argument that ensues between a man and a woman in the bus. Then, out of impulsive shock, the man slaps the woman, and Taib al-Mahdi, having followed the contours of the argument, feels that the man is on the wrong. So Taib al-Mahdi decides to focus all his ire towards the stomach of the man. Without warning, the man is hit by cramps and he's there mourning and crying. Most of the people in the bus believe that he really deserves it because of his cheekiness. Taib al-Mahdi, on his way to the cafe that he frequented, goes on with his good deeds. We see him just use his eye to fill a gaping pothole. He drains the sewer that pours water on the alley, and he goes on to even fix an electrical box that is hanging dangerously. These and many others really surprise the members of the community, and they believe that this is not just a genuine awakening on the part of the government, but it is a true renaissance. Fast forward, Taib al-Mahdi goes on with his reformation, and in going on with his reformation at the cafe, when he sits down to refresh himself, then a broadcaster goes on expounding one after the other the promising developments that are lined up by the government. Taib al-Mahdi is no longer excited with such news because such prophecies have come out to only lead to frustrations, and they have not been followed up to fruition. So we see Taib al-Mahdi silently send a message to the broadcaster that he ought to only announce the accomplishments that have been achieved, not the empty rhetorics that are being bandied by politicians, as we see even in our communities, where politicians normally promise hot air. They have an anemia of the fulfillment of promises and the heartbeat of the promises themselves. Then Taib al-Mahdi gets to command the broadcaster to sneeze, and the sneezes keep on waylaying the broadcaster to a point that he cannot continue. He tells the audience listening to him that a unique illness has gotten the better of him, and that at this point he puts a recorded song that goes walk around and see. And Taib al-Mahdi feels that he is triumphant, and he considers himself as a trusty popular censor of the dangerous media of mass communication. At the cafe, Taib al-Mahdi notices a man, Suleiman Bey al-Hamalawi. He has stooges around him who lavish him with sycophancy But this kind of sycophancy grossly engross him with conceit and arrogance. He has made his wealth as a result of evading taxes. So then Taib al-Mahdi commands him mentally to go to the tax prosecutor's office, repent his sins, and pay the millions of pounds that he owes to the tax office. Taib al-Mahdi believes that tomorrow in the newspapers, the headlines will be about Suleiman Bey al-Hamalawi, and this will inspire a great awakening in the people. Wherever Taib al-Mahdi goes to, that is at the universities and schools, he goes to commercial cooperatives, he goes to electrical appliance factories, he goes to private and public companies, and he leaves a trail of wonder. People wonder what has really come over the populace. He curses and afflicts some, then yet again some he blesses. People wonder how men and women really get to change to the better without any interventions. And this is something that is occasioned by the awesome power given to Taib al-Mahdi. Then something tragic gets to happen towards the end of the story. Taib al-Mahdi, who is bequeathed with the mountainous honors of ensuring that the society that looked irreparable is repaired, finally gets to realize that he needs to come up with a comprehensive plan and a comprehensive program to realize the areas of need in order to reform his country and later on reform his planet. He decides to note down the areas of need, the areas of urgency, and he goes to a tea garden at the zoo to do this. At the tea garden, Taib al-Mahdi comes into contact with a beautiful lady that ruins almost everything. Let me read an encounter that Taib al-Mahdi has with this lady. At the tea garden's entrance, he saw a beautiful woman approaching to take a seat at the table right next to him. Gorgeous and enticing, she was a perfect replication of his lost youthful dreams. Swept by a surge of delight, Taib found his passions aroused in a way that he had not known since he first married Ania, destroying the indifference he had dreaded since he entered old age. The surprise attraction amazed him. Truly, it was far from ordinary and hardly appropriate for one preoccupied with such a mountainous burden as his. Taib al-Mahdi is keen and observant to an extent that he realizes that whatever relationship, whatever ecstatic desire that clouds him at this point is working, is countering his mountainous honors to repair the society. The lady barely notices Taib al-Mahdi, And Taib al-Mahdi, just with the hubris of men of awesome power, men who have had the power to change the world, just as the wisdom of Solomon, for those of us who read the Bible, just as we see in Solomon's writing in the book of Proverbs, that one of the things that normally lead to the fall of kings is women and wine. Taib al-Mahdi finally gives himself and surrenders his faith, surrenders his life to his emotional desire, and together, after sending a hidden glance at the beautiful woman, he quickly forgets his destiny, that is to save his country and to save the world. After some weeks, Taib al-Mahdi realizes that he has erred, and even his wife, Hania, realizes that there is a change in mood in Taib al-Mahdi. Taib al-Mahdi tries to change the channels in his television, but nothing would happen. Pleading is pointless. Distress is useless, and regret has no effect. An awesome sadness will haunt Taib al-Mahdi until the day of his death. That is the story of Taib al-Mahdi, a story that tells us as human beings that unknown to us, we have amazing and awesome power to change the world. But of course, we must prepare the ground, we must prepare the foundation for such power to be felt. Taib al-Mahdi's power fails to see the light of the day because he is distracted by the beautiful woman from his destiny. Viewers, let me hear what you have to say about this analysis at the comment section. Let me also thank the viewers and the subscribers who always support this channel. Without your assistance, without your support, this channel would not be where it is. I am deeply indebted to you.